Hey, good morning. Christy Renea here. What you are looking at, let me show you this real quick, is my chakra clearing that I'm doing for myself. But instead of having my mugshot on the video this morning, I thought I would let you stare at my candles and my rocks. So every rock is corresponding to one of the chakras, and how I did that was I just muscle tested. And I didn't go buy special rocks. I used some of the stuff that I had, or stones, gemstones. Somebody got mad at me the other day for calling them rocks. But they are my special rocks, and I love the energy that comes off of these. So I muscle tested them to the different chakras, and then of course the candle colors correspond to the different chakras. And then the candle in the center is the eternal flame, represented by the white candle. So that's what we've got going on right there. What we're going to do is the video that I promised you the other day and I never got to. This is on the ladder of awareness. We are doing sadness. So we're still working in the range of emotions. The first one we did was anger. Now we're doing sadness. And you can go through, pretty much any emotion that you feel and work this through, positive or negative. Negative will take it out of your system or help to relieve it in your system, and positive will be amplified. Okay, so that's basically how that works. Positive will be amplified. But people tend to fight more with the negative stuff than anything, and can't tend to get to the positive stuff until resolve some of the negative stuff. So it's why we tend to go after that first. I will be fully honest with you. What I have found out and understood is that if you can find a higher level emotion, peace, love, joy, right, an emotion of the spirit, and get into that groove, get into that vibration, and stay there for a period of time, it will start to change everything on a deeper level than piecemealing together. Let's get rid of this, let's get rid of that, right? This emotion, that trauma, blah, 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 blah. But the caveat or the problem is most people can't tend to get there until some of this other stuff is loosened up. So that's why we do this first. All right, so remember the ladder of awareness. Grab your notebook if you have it. If you wrote some of this stuff down, it'll help you remember it. Your brain is thought form, your heart is feeling form emotions, and your gut is feeling form physical. All right? So we start in the brain. Take a few deep breaths, nice big inhales, nice long deep exhales. You could get heart coherent first if you wanted to. That absolutely can help. In this instance, we're not going to. So I want to show you how to do this just going straight into it, because honestly, it'll work either way. So inhale and exhale a few times. Remember, if you're trying to calm the system down, this kind of breathing where you're inhaling big and expanding the rib cage, expanding the gut, expanding that whole central core, and then long, slow exhales will actually help calm down your central nervous system. It'll even help reset your vagus nerve. So spend some time doing that. Spend some time practicing it. After your breaths, I want you to close your eyes, go into your brain. Remember, we're being the curious observers. Do not fall into your sadness. We're just looking for sadness. So go into your brain and say, I'm looking for sadness. And then start searching for it. So you'll get memories. You'll probably feel it too, but don't fall into the feeling. But we're looking for the memories of sadness, anywhere that sadness shows up. So you can move your eyes to the left to get into the right brain more, move your eyes to the right to get into the left brain more, cross your arms and legs to be in a whole brain state, and then you can still move your eyes around and go searching for things. Have your ladder and your bucket at hand. When you start finding things that deal with the emotion of sadness, I want you to put them in the bucket. So pick it up, put it in the bucket. Pick it up, put it in the bucket. I'm going to give you about a minute to do this. And I'm just going to keep breathing, big inhales, nice deep exhales. I am doing this with you. I'm going through my brain looking for any incidences of sadness. People will ask me, can you go past life? Can you go, go wherever your brain takes you. If you're remembering something past life, throw it in the bucket. Worst case scenario, it doesn't do anything, right? That's always the worst case scenario. All right, once your bucket's full, if you need to stop this video and keep collecting, stop the video and keep collecting. But if you're ready, when your bucket's full, take your bucket, get on your ladder, and you're going to climb from your ladder from the center of your brain down into the center of your heart. So we are inside the secret space of the Most High. Land your ladder inside the center of your heart and just feel for a second. Notice what that feels like. Then when you're ready, take your bucket and just dump it out. Dump your bucket of sadness. Now, I talked about this before. A lot of times for a person doing this for the first time, they get really nervous and like, I don't want to dump all this sadness in my heart. Your heart inside is a transducer. It transduces forms of energy. So your spirit is this space. It creates this space inside your heart. And it's known as the secret space of the Most High, according to ancient texts. And it will transduce the energy of sadness that you've stored in your brain. It'll transduce it into an attribute of your spirit: peace, love, joy, gratitude, happiness. And now you're just a curious observer. Once you've dumped your bucket out, just be the curious observer and pay attention and watch. Now, for some people, this happens fast, and for some people, it takes a little bit longer. But if you need to, turn your video off and then come back when you're ready, when your heart has transformed this information. Now, I'm going to continue, so if you've turned your video off, you're not hearing this, but turn it back on when you're ready. Okay. So once it's transformed in your heart and you can feel the difference, I want you to take that feeling, put a label on it. What does it feel like? So the information that I took out of my brain to do with sadness and I stuck in my heart now feels almost on the edge of joy, but it's like a very high level of contentment and peace. However you describe it, right? Find some words to describe it so we can get back to it easily. Take some of that feeling and stick it in your bucket. I'm going to shift my ladder from my brain to my heart, and now I'm going to shift it from my heart down to my gut. So I'm at the center of my heart, at the top of my ladder. The bottom of my ladder is in the Dantian, in your power point, your power center, the center of your gut. So it's that space about 2 inches behind your belly button. I'm going to take this bucket of peace and I'm going to go down my ladder. So whatever's in your bucket, go down your ladder into the center of your gut and then dump this information into your gut and then feel. Now remember, your gut's going to do one of two things. It's either going to clench up on you. It's going to seize up, right? You're going to get that gut feeling, that heavy feeling like something's going on. Or it's going to give you more of what you put in there, right? You're going to get more peace, more joy, whatever it was. In this instance, I am getting a very heavy gut feeling. So that means that my fight and flight to this, or even you could call it resistance to this sadness that I took from my brain, I clarified it in my heart to peace, and my gut's still at odds with it. So I get the heavy feeling. I'm going to take that feeling and stick it in my bucket. I'm going to climb back up the ladder into my heart, and now I'm dumping that feeling into my heart. So now I'm letting my heart handle my issues of sadness from my gut. So whatever level of fight and flight this was trying to give me, as a curious observer, I don't fall into it. I just notice it, put it into my heart, let my heart transduce it. Now again, if you need to turn this video off, and then come back, do that. But as it transduces and you're noticing the difference, when it comes back to peace or joy or whatever your descriptor was, and this time I'm actually getting a very open, but kind of want to call it fun-loving feeling of gratitude, which is interesting. I'm going to stick that in my bucket, and then I'm going back down to my gut, and I'm going to dump that in my gut. Now remember, we're doing this all to the same subject. Even though we're moving different emotions around, different feelings around, we're still working on the same subject matter, which was sadness. So we're still working on that same subject matter. Now my heart's transduced what my gut had to it, to a level of gratitude. I'm taking that down to my gut, giving that to my gut. And you'll find this quickly with your gut. Your gut doesn't fool around. It gives you information pretty fast. And I get more gratitude. I feel like my system has gotten lighter. It's opened up. I'm going to take that information, right? So now this high level of gratitude out of my gut, I'm putting some of it into the bucket. Now I'm going to spread my ladder from my gut all the way back up to my brain. My heart has gratitude. My gut has gratitude. I want my brain to have it also, to this subject matter of sadness. So now I'm going to go all the way up the ladder, and I'm going to dump the gratitude into my brain. Now your gut has a direct line to your brain anyway, so if you stayed here and just inhaled and exhaled for a few minutes, that information would get to your brain. But I've been doing it this way for a long time, and it seems to help people see that they can move their emotions. You can change your emotional state on a dime, but you have to know that you can do it. So once you get really good at this, you can almost ditch the ladder and bucket, and you can move through this really quickly. It's kind of cool. So in my brain, to the subject matter of sadness, now I've given gratitude. And it's not that I'm grateful for the sadness, I don't think, but there is a story behind the sadness I was working on. And now that has gratitude pasted all over it. Once you've got your system all feeling the same level of emotions, right? So it's all gratitude. Let's use gratitude for an example of whatever your emotion choice is. Once it's in your brain, your heart, and your gut, now I just want you to breathe. Inhale and exhale and feel it throughout your whole system. So this is what we call a state of coherence. You are absolutely coherent from top to bottom, from your root all the way to your crown. All your chakras are coherent because they run through the system. It's all attached. None of this is separate. And I want you to try and feel this chamber that runs through your central body, your heart, your brain, and your gut, is one working organism. It's one unit working together, not three separate places that produce their own information and send you sideways every time something happens. They work together. They're a single functioning unit. And now in this state, this higher level vibration, coherent in your system, I just want you to keep feeling. So my level is gratitude. Now what I typically do with this is I'll keep breathing it. I open my eyes. I go walk around feeling it, keeping the feeling alive in my system. You don't want to let go of that. You want to keep it alive and keep moving in your system as long as you can, and then keep coming back to it. And then start noticing. If sadness comes back up, do it again, right? This is an active practice that you can do anytime you need to whatever subject matter. Very quickly, you will notice that those issues, unless something actively happens in your life that makes you sad, in which case you can turn the system on and come back to gratitude or love or whatever, and it'll help rectify not only your sadness, but the sadness that you're putting out into the field around you. All right, it'll help to rectify the situation faster. The longer you stay here, The more you practice it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it, your life just changes. It just does. Okay. So that was sadness. Next time I do a video, we've been working, I've done 2 videos now with emotions. Next time we're going to do an issue. Next video, we will do an issue with this same method. All right. Can't wait to see you there.